morning, everyone. Today's Tuesday, July 11th. My name is Anne-Marie Band, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We've got a quiet day today in terms of just releases. So, maybe it's going to be a place where the charts sort of settle into a new range. If you recall, last week there were some monster trades up 44.50. They were to the short side on the release of the jobs number, I believe. Now they're coming up, attacking that number and trying to get over it. If that occurs, we're going to have ourselves a squeeze, and it's going to put us right back into the top of the trading range. Okay, so today, what are we looking at? Well, let's take a look at it relative to yesterday. Remember, we always look at price relative to nearby price because that really does give us inclination about what's going to happen next. So if we take a look at the futures here, we can see that the traders are trying to get up into the 44.60 area. If you read my quick Substack, that really does cover the majority of the week. I'll be putting one out for Wednesday to give us a track of motion. I just don't want to overanalyze simply because that can lead to a general level of paralysis. So here's what we've got. Higher lows. The first fade, now Metastock has triggered the short, but it triggered the short way up here with the frontline targets based on prior support edges way down here. So this 44.20-ish area was a key target zone for that short. It says, hey, take some profit. And that's how to read that Metastock event. Coming from there, now we have the bounce. What we have to see is, will that bounce resume highs or collapse at prior resistance? And so where does that collapse occur? Either between 44.70 or 44.85-ish, somewhere around there. If we break past that, we're either going to be range bound, coming back into the 4,500 area and then fading again, or we're off to brand new highs. Remember, trend is northward, and we've got a few things looking at. First of all, relative to other currencies, say like the yen or so, the market is very overpriced, but also the yuan is weak, and a lot of funds are getting ready to be released, and they're going to be looking for yield. Will that be in U.S. equities? Maybe, if they're allowed to invest at any particular measure. My guess is that China will do something to curb outflows, but that's just a wild guess. I definitely am not smart enough to figure out any of the details there, so just look at that as coffee chat. But from this perspective, we are above the high of the prior day. Overnight, we held the open of the prior day, which is bullish. And so this move is a bullish move with a lot of the overnight formations being upside. Okay, so we're going to have pre-market traders that are bullish. They might want to try to take some profit at the open. If that happens, watch for the fade. If the fade is shallow, remember, we've already got this bullish motion, and the move up over 44.40 really gave us the notion that, hey, listen, if we hold that level, we are headed higher. Okay? So that being said, that's what I'm seeing. The grind to the north under a day that's got no news might be a nice day to try and push the market higher, right? I think that is what traders are trying to do. Notice volume has been tapering off for the last couple of weeks in general, certainly short volume. And that's what we're seeing there. Let's go to the NQ. We've got a rebalancing event here in the NASDAQ. It's called a special rebalancing. What they're trying to do is move the ratios back to what they were 5 years ago. And so we can sort of go backward and reverse engineer if we want to spend all that time doing that. I don't, obviously, but we could do that to see what they're doing. That's why I'm seeing a little bit of stalling in Apple and Microsoft and Nvidia and Meta, those sorts of places that are just sort of jamming up against resistance and not moving because people are trying to see possibly what that rebalancing will do to all the other ETFs that are related to and follow along the NAS. Okay, so what does that show us? It shows us a little bit more weakness. We did not have an update yesterday. We are working on an update today, but we are also above the high of the prior day. And that gives us, I don't know why I can't move this, but that gives us upside pressure as long as we hold above 15,240. Now, where are we with that? Well, we're jamming up against that and not really getting past it. 15,239 is where we are. So in my estimation, we should see a little bit more grinding down of the NAS simply because of this. Could we be forming a triangle pattern? Absolutely. Here we have higher lows, but not higher highs. So we've got price compression where people are trying to decide on what is the value event, if I can put that number in quotations. All right. On top of that, earnings begin towards the end of the week. We've got financials coming in. Everybody is like, see what happens there. I don't know. Financials always find a way to keep themselves running all right. I don't see anything catastrophic happening there. All right. So that's what we're looking at. If we breach 15,240 here, watch for more buyers to come in. And these are wicks and long candlesticks with no interruption. So we easily could have short sellers covering, pushing us all the way up into 15,350 by the end of the day. If, for happenstance, the traders come in and they go, nope, we're not getting above here. We're going to chop around there. You can short that with a very tight stop intraday. It doesn't mean you short it and leave it a wide stop and go to the beach. No. You want to short it and keep your eyeballs on it because the moment it breaks out of that area, traders are going to run for cover if they're short. All right, let's take a look at it in reference to SPY. SPY lifting. Hello, Anne-Marie. What did you just do there, friend? All right. So here we are looking at this. Are we above the prior day's high? Yes. Are we above any other areas of resistance? Well, yeah. 438. Old support, should have been resistance, broke right out over it, and look at the pullback. Super shallow. Chances are we've got more upside pressure here. Could we fade? Of course. We can do anything. 441, 442, top edge of the range. Maybe we expand. I don't think so. I do not believe there's enough pressure going here, but it could be a squeeze because take a look at the last 3 days. A higher selling volume after that, and even more volume after that. So we'll see how the recovery goes. Okay, buying volume yesterday was very shallow. So my thought is another sideways drift. Watch the edges. 441, 442. If it gets up there, starts to chop around, you've got yourself short. 438 comes in, holds the zone, you're going to have yourself another long. But buyers are going to be far less excited about going long if they lose 439 because that represents currently a 4-day battle. The last 4 days, they fought around that zone. Qs, same thing. Traders are really trying to keep their head above water. Notice Qs doesn't look like the NASDAQ. Not at all. The NASDAQ did not have a positive day yesterday. It was still negative. Qs looking like they're a little bit ahead of the motion. So what does that tell me? Well, it doesn't tell me anything really unless I lose my 367 number or I lose the pre-market low, right? Essentially the same number, 367. If indeed I cannot hold 367, I am going to rotate down. If I can get up over the pre-market high, 368. We could push ourselves up into 370. I really do not see price expansion today. Hey, listen, if you do follow me, I have my good friend from eons, Brian Shannon, is going to be on the Place Your Trades Network. I'll put out the YouTube link shortly, and hopefully you can come see us. 11 to 11:30, quick action. We'll talk about the anchored VWAP and just get a little bit of insight to a guy who's been trading a really long time and towing the line. All right, everyone, take it easy, and I'll see you all tomorrow.